Now we all know that we've had another Hulk movie before. It was called the Ang Lee Hulk. But let's not talk about this piece of shit. Let's focus on the Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is the second movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and since it is another movie leading up to the Avengers, I must talk about it. So the movie stars Edward Norton, Tim Roth, Liv Tyler, and William Hurt. The movie essentially tells the story of Bruce Banner, who has this Hulk problem. He is on the run from the government because they view his entire body as property of the US military. Now what I really love about this movie is it starts out from the opening scene. You see everything you need to know about the Hulk. It doesn't have a lot of downtime like the Ang Lee Hulk, for example. No, you see from the get-go what happened. There was an experiment, something went wrong, and now he turns into this enormous green rage monster that kills people. The movie essentially is about Bruce Banner trying to control this thing or get rid of it, because you see that this Hulk problem that he has is a thing that he deals with on a daily basis. And that is something that I absolutely loved about this film. You see that he has his breathing techniques, that he has like some meditation classes, and he really has to be careful on a daily basis because he gets stressed out at work, sometimes he gets bullied, and sometimes he's sexually aroused. All these things can trigger the Hulk. The first act is probably my favorite. So he's hiding out in Rio de Janeiro, I believe it is, and he's looking for a cure until, you know, the government finds him. William Hurt plays his girlfriend's father and the guy that is responsible for the experiment that went wrong. He wants him, and he wants him with a vengeance, and he rocks the mustache. Now Tim Roth is the definitive bad guy of the movie because he's the soldier that is assigned to bring Bruce Banner back home. However, his motivation in the film is to become the strongest, most athletic, and most badass soldier possible. So he actually ends up experimenting with himself a little bit and turns into the Abomination. From this point on, everyone has to realize that the Hulk is the only possible thing able to take down the Abomination. Now this thing had a lot going for me. First of all, the first act. The first act is fantastic. Edward Norton is a terrific actor, he always has been, and I actually believed him as this very intelligent guy that is struggling with this Hulk problem. You see it, like I said, on a daily basis. He's working his ass off to get rid of it, and he's also a broken-hearted guy because he had to leave his love, Liv Tyler, behind. The second act is when he gets back home to the States and is looking for answers there and rekindles his relationship with Liv Tyler's character Betty. This is the part where I was like, okay, I really loved everything leading up to them rekindling their relationship, but after that the movie really slows down. The finale of the movie, however, holy shit, there is a lot of action. I mean, you see Hulk like taking police cars and using them as boxing gloves and beating the shit out of the Abomination. However, the downside of this is the villain. The villain, again, I say this about a lot of these Marvel movies, but the villain is very weak because his motivation is, I want to be badass. That is pretty much his motivation. And that makes for a very uninteresting villain. To sum everything up, I gotta say, this movie was really fun. First of all, the first act alone is worth watching the film. Then the relationship between him and Liv Tyler was actually very cute. That is like the most believable and also tragic romance we have in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, because she's not just like a damsel in distress that needs rescuing. No, he feels like he is the danger, so he needs to stay away from her. And there can never be a happy end for these two, because if they have sex, well, he crushes her. The villain, however, was also pretty weak. Tim Roth, I love the actor. He's amazing in everything, and he does the best he possibly can with the material, but it doesn't do a lot for me because the villain was just weak. All in all, I still gotta say that The Incredible Hulk is a great time. I just had to give it that rating. The Hulk character himself is just so different. He is not a hero. I mean, Bruce Banner is a good guy, but the Hulk is just a mindless beast. In the other movies, we will eventually see him controlling that Hulk thing a little better. But in this one, the end fight, maybe. However, I also got to mention the post-credit scene again. The post-credit scene ties those movies a little bit closer together and ties in with Iron Man especially. So again, watch the post-credit scene. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.